Hello guys, welcome to Doki Doki Blue Skies. Hello. Welcome back to the DDLC world. Alright, this mod is 2 years in the making. Imagine that. It's been 2 years since since they are developing this mod, and now it's already here. We have now the opportunity to enjoy this mod. All right, so I think we can now introduce you to the characters as well. Here's Sayori, who I think haven't eaten much, and Yuri. Wow, Yuri, man. Oh my, ah, Yuri, Yuri. I'm gonna get your route, Yuri. Don't worry about that. You're my waifu. You're my waifu. All right, Natsuki, not so much. Anyways, yeah, this game is a mod of DDLC or Doki Doki Literature Club, and if everyone played that, you know what happened in that game. You know what kind of stuff had happened on that game, and yeah, so we are really excited to play this game. Actually, we are going to do it, and I hope that you'll enjoy this. And if you are, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell icon. So, you know, when I upload more, you get to have the first notifications out. Anyways, let's see what's this gallery. Wow, that's cool. That's so cool. So cool. Okay, so we can have unlockables here. That's great. First, let's go with the extras. What is this? We know that the players are disappointed by the exclusion of Monica, so here are the Monica scenes that unfortunately couldn't make it into the completed mod. Okay, I guess you should find that out on your own. We don't have time for these things on the channel, so we're going to play the mod. Don't worry, we're still going there. Let's see, go to settings. Censor nudity. I guess I have to. Sorry guys, I have to. I'm sorry, we just have to censor the nudity. Okay, now we are going to return and we are going to play the game. Let's do this. Please enter your name. J, of course. Okay, yeah, about the game again, it doesn't have any Monica route because we know the route of Monica has been in the DLC already. And this has the Sayori, the Yuri, and the Natsuki route, alright? But I think we're gonna go with a waifu here. I'm gonna go with the Yuri route. Just saying. Okay, question mark. ... What's this? This shouldn't be possible. Why am I here? How am I here? Did you bring me back? I don't see any other explanation. Why, we've already established that there's no happiness here, so why? Huh? Why can't I look at the script? Something's wrong. You didn't do anything, did you? Don't you understand? Are you trying to mess things up even more? How did you... Wait, I know. You've installed a mod, haven't you? That's why everything's been changed. Don't you think it's time to let us go? Yeah, I mean, it's been like... When was this released? 2016? 4 years. What? You want everything to be like how it should have been? But... You really care about them, don't you? I wish. Never mind. If you really want to do it, I won't stop you. I've been fighting to take control of this game again, but if you want to play through the mod, then, well, I'll succumb to the mod's control. So, do you want me to allow the mod's activation? No. That's the game, everyone. Yes. It's a great, cool game. Very cool game. Okay, now to play the mod correctly. All right. Yeah, of course we want Monica to succumb to this mod. All right. I knew it. Jay, or whatever your name is actually is. I truly hope that you can find the happiness with your choice. All right. I guess we can. Sigh. I lay in bed motionless and staring up at the blank white ceiling. Last night was dreadful. The sound of thunder kept me up for hours. But today's another day, I guess. Let's just hope that it's at least a bit better. With another sigh, I begrudgingly dragged myself out of bed and groggily begin the monotony of my daily routine. Making my way to the kitchen, I haphazardly rummage through the cupboards looking for something to eat. Unfortunately, there's no tasty homemade breakfast awaiting for me ever since my parents' divorce. I've just been living off of whatever I find in the kitchen. Ah, poor Jay. I live with my mom, but she's always taking business trips abroad. So, for the most part, it's pretty much just me at home. It's lonely, but I manage. Although, I do miss the smell of bacon and eggs in the morning. Breakfast used to be a family thing. Dad would read the newspaper at the kitchen table while Mom would stand at the stove to fry her famous sunny side up eggs. But all of that, but all of that feels like a long forgotten memory. Well, at least the breakfast is sorted. A calorie empty. What? Not exactly the best start for the day, but it'll do. I do my own shopping since mom's never home, but you usually stick to buying the bare necessities. The ease of using pre-made stuff that pretty much sapped me of the urge to cook meals for myself. And with my food quickly finished, I head for the door. At the very least, the weather looked much better than yesterday's. Clear skies beat thunderstorms in any day of the week. I'm still lost in my thoughts when I notice a familiar face. It's Sayori. We have quite a history together. As children, we were basically inseparable. Always exploring, getting up to mischief, driving our parents wild. Typical things that a young children would do, really. As time went on, especially in recent years, we started slowly drifting apart. In fact, I haven't probably properly spoken to her in a long time. It's a real shame after all. We've shared a lot of fond memories with each other. I'm surprised to see her up so early though. A couple of times I've glanced out the classroom window only to see her hurriedly walking along the school. We used to talk to school together. We used to walk to school together, and although she was sometimes a little late to meet me, I never really minded. As we continued to drift apart, however, her lack of punctuality became more frequent, and I just decided it'd be better if I walked to school alone. Which meant that although I did get to school on time more often, it was quite lonely. Knowing her, she probably just gotten more and more lazy with time. After all, her dedication to sleeping in seems to be unwavering. Ah well, still, I've always enjoyed talking to her. Hey Sayori, I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? She looks a little surprised at my appearance and question. I suppose I can't blame her. Oh, hey Jay, I wasn't expecting you. Wait, I wasn't expecting to see you. Alright, let me make my voice here. Sayori should be like a very gentle spoken girl, I think. So yeah, let's do that. That makes the two of us. You're up early today. She laughed softly, a misplaced looking frown on her face. I've been alright though. Not a whole lot has changed recently, you know? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Life has been purely routine these days. School's kinda meh. Although I guess it could be worse. She nods as we both resume to walk to school. Although I can talk to her just fine, there's still an awkward air between us. I guess that's given, seeing as this is our first proper conversation together in a long time. As we carry on making idle small talk, sudden thought hit me. Anyway, this might have come across a bit out of the blue, but seeing you here has given me an idea. Oh? Well, it's been a while since we've walked to school together. How about we start doing that again? Eh? Would you really want to do that? I'm not very fun to talk to. I'm always late. I frown. It's really strange to hear Sayori say this, given I've always known her to have a bubbly, cheerful personality. Sayori, that's definitely not true. Well, the bit about always being late is true. I've always loved hanging out with you, and I think we'd have a lot of fun again. Besides, I've missed you. Ooh. I'll even help you wake up on time if you need me to. Was that a bit too forward? I don't know. I've never been in this sort of situation before. I mean, we are childhood friends after all, right? Yeah, really.
I've missed you too, Jay.
Aw. Well, let's do it then. From now on, we'll walk to school together, okay?
Okay.
Ah, there it is. That classic Sayori smile I grew up loving. All the memories I have of us together as children feature that smile. No matter where we ventured, parks, playgrounds, forests, that smile would follow. That innocent childlike sense of adventure we used to have. It's painfully clear that that's long gone. But maybe we can still smile together anyway.
So, what have you been up to lately?
You know, the usual.
You mean games, anime, and manga, right?
Yep, it pretty much goes without saying.
Oh, Jay, you haven't changed.
Are you saying that you think I need some change?
No one's perfect. There's always room for improvement. Especially in your case. I'm guessing that you're still a part of the Go Home Club?
Hey, that's a cut a little deep. What do you want me to do? Join the soccer club and trip over everyone?
Well, I think a little exercise is good for anyone.
I'm very offended if you're trying to call me fat right now.
Well, you don't have to join a sports club if you don't want to.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of checking out the
Anime club?
Wow, how'd you guess? It does suit my hobbies though, so...
Jay, you should try branching out a bit more.
Okay, Miss Club Expert, if you're gonna criticize all my club choices, what would you suggest?
Well, it just so happens that there's a club that I'm in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm actually the vice president.
Wow, I did not expect that. Dang, so you get to take part in all the executive decisions, huh?
Kinda. The club's kinda only has 4 members at the moment, but it's really fun. We're actually looking for new members right now.
So that's why she brought it up. Only 4 members? Sounds like you guys are just getting started out then. What club is it anyway?
It's the school's very own literature club.
I intentionally let out a sigh. Her face drops. I don't think that was quite the reaction she was hoping for. In my defense, literature has never quite captured my interest. Unless you count manga as literature, that is.
I knew it! You don't want to join. I understand though, not many people like reading.
Hey, who said I didn't like to read? I love reading if you count, manga. I muttered the last word more to myself than to Sayori. On the plus side, Sayori laughs at my sheepishness.
You sound like someone I knew from the literature club. She talks about manga all the time.
I bet that's Natsuki. Or Yuri. Hopefully it's Yuri. No, I think Yuri is more like the dark type. I think it's Natsuki. Oh, really? I am actually interested in your club though. Sayori smiles, seemingly content that I'm showing initiative. If I'm looking for a club to join, I guess the literature club is a good place as any to start.
That's great! You should come by sometime.
And by sometime, you're hoping for today, aren't you?
The sooner the better.
Alright, I'll have a look after school today.
Yay! Thanks, Jay!
Although we should probably hurry up. Don't want to be late now, do we?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, we're going to school together. Sayori and I walking to school together. Within a few minutes, we've arrived at the school entrance amidst a crowd of chattering students. We wave goodbye as we head off to our separate classes. I have Sakurai in the morning, so I'm fairly confident that the next hour or so won't be too hard. Who's Sakurai, you might ask? Only one of the coolest, most down-to-earth teachers we have in the whole school. Being on the young side himself, the experience of high school is much fresher in his mind than in some of the other teachers, especially the older ones. He gives me a smile as I open the door. Oh, here we go, a new character. Sakurai, okay. Morning, Jay. How are you doing today? Not bad, sir. Same old, same old. How about you? Well, we're finally starting our module on the 20th century history today, so needless to say, I'm excited. Oh yeah? First World War, Nazism, Second World War, that stuff? You bet. I've waited all year for this to start. Oh man, you guys are in for a real treat. That's something else I really admire about him. He's so enthusiastic about his subject, and that enthusiasm really makes learning about history that much more enjoyable. Combined with the fact that he's fairly relaxed, especially when it comes to homework, you can really see why he's popular. Although he does have a strict side, of course. That side of him comes to light every now and then. So he isn't a pushover. By and large, he's earned the respect of his students by striking the balance just right. I just wish that all of my teachers were as friendly as and made efforts to know their students better. Ah well. I take a seat and one of my classmates, Emmy, smiles and waves. Another new character, I think. Bouncy and energetic, she has a reputation for her skills on the track field. Even when she isn't running, she's still pretty much a ball of energy. Heya, yep, it's a new character. Heya! We have one of those odd friendships where we get along well in the class but don't really see each other outside of school. How are you doing, Hemi?
Training was really fun today, Jay.
Oh! She's always on the hunt for new recruits to join the track team, and she has a habit of dropping some not so subtle hints.
Yeah, we're always looking for new people, and I know you weren't part of any club, so you should totally join us.
It's funny you mentioned that I'm not part of any clubs actually. I think I'm gonna check out the literature club after school. I didn't really think you were that poetic. You were the poetic type. But if you ever get bored of writing poems, you know where to find me. How many times do I have to tell you that? Alright guys, let's make a start. It's almost criminal that I've had to wait so long to teach my favorite century. Right? Well, that the school's lesson is over. As I linger behind the classroom, I gather up all my things. I hear the door open. It's Sayori.
Hi again, Jay.
Hey, the literature club meeting's today, right?
Yeah, it is. I was just heading there now. Do you still want to come along?
You betcha. Sayori seems to perk up, looking excited as I still want to come along to the club.
Look at you, finally doing some
extracurriculars. I'm having difficulty reading these words. I mean, if you're the vice president, it can't be all that bad, right? She giggles, making me smile. Each individual club
member makes it special. Everyone works hard to have fun together.
Well, let's not keep them waiting. It'll be rude to show up late. I want to make a good impression after all.
I guess you're right. Come on. It's right this way up the stairs at the end.
I follow Sayori down the hallway. She seemed excited, and it's nice to know that I'm making her day at least a little bit better. The stairs lead up to a section of the school that I recognize as the third year's wing. Sayori leads me to a classroom and knocks on the door.
Trust me, you're gonna love it!
She's definitely enthusiastic with this club, that's for sure. After a seemingly long wait, the door finally slides open. A small pink-haired girl peeks out. Here we go, that's Natsuki. Get her the one.
Sayori!
She peeks out further.
Hey Natsuki! Guess what? I found someone who wants to join our club!
The girl, who's apparently called Natsuki, slowly turned a glare out to me and narrows her eyes. She opens the door fully, and behind her I see another girl sitting at the desk, her face buried in a book. Well, we have a clue. She's a book lover. So maybe that could be Yuri or Monica. Either way.
What? Hey, wait, Sayori?
Sayori practically pushed Natsuki out of the way. She seemed excited to introduce me to the rest of the club members.
Hey guys, I want to introduce to you our newest member, Chi.
Sayori, hold up. It's a bit quick to call me the new member, isn't it? I then noticed a third girl peek out from the behind the bookshelf in the corner of the classroom. Can it be? Is that Monica? Wait, we know Monica? How? Monica is one of the most popular girls of this high school. Everyone seemed to flock to her because she's smart, beautiful, athletic, you name it, she's got it. Unfortunately, this also means she's completely out of my league. She looks at me at first with a stern look, but then quickly lights up, puts down the book she's holding, and rushes over.
Ah, Jay, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club.
The girl who has her face buried in a book suddenly jolts up and looks at me right at me. She quickly snaps her book shut and timidly moves to join the conversation.
Oh, a new member? My name's Yuri.
Yeah. Holy crap, it seems that I've somehow lucked out. Not only is Monica in the club, but also a bunch of other cute girls. Am I glad I decided to come here instead of the anime club today? But enough gawking, Jay. Stop staring and start talking. Yeah, boy, stop staring and start talking. Stop staring. It's nice to meet you, Yuri. Like Sayori said, I'm Jay. I smile at her, then turn to Monica.
So it sounds like you already know Monica, isn't that right?
That's right.
It's great to see you again, Jay.
Monica smiles sweetly. We know each other well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. It's kind of strange to say, but having her smile at me so genuinely makes me feel a bit starstruck. The powers of a school idol. You too, Monica. So you guys run a club with just the four of you then, huh? Sayori told me about how you were looking for new members.
Well, I've actually been trying to push for more members for a while, but we haven't had any luck recently.
Sayori did say. My words dried up in my mouth as Natsuki shoots a piercing glare. She looks pissed at me, but for what reason I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to do much besides walk in and say hello.
Sayori?
Oh wait, it's Natsuki.
Sayori? You brought a boy? Yep. He told me he wanted to join just this morning.
Not sure if it's just Sayori being an airhead again, but I don't recall promising that I'd join.
Ah, great!
Natsuki glowers at us, folding her arms in an irritated huff. I don't really get why though.
Sorry about Natsuki. That's just how she is. She's a little standoffish to the new members.
Oh, it's nothing. The transition from the girls to my voice is very difficult, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best to be the best voiceover here. I'm the only one working. Oh, it's nothing. I don't mind.
Hey, I'm right here, you know. Sorry. I've got to try to make a good impression, though. Come on, Natsuki. We need new members. If you don't feel like being nice to Jay, can you at least be nice for me? Please. Jeez, I don't know how to make such a big deal about it.
Wait,
Jeez, I don't know. You don't have to make such a big deal out of it. Fine. If you're gonna beg, I guess I have no choice. Hooray! Thanks, Natsuki.
Looks like I knew who the tsundere of the group is now. It's almost comical to the extent to which Natsuki fits the trope. Well, maybe my view of the world is just clouded by anime influences though.
Anyway, let's get to the conversation back on track. How'd you come to learn about the literature club, Jay? I'll have to admit, I'm a bit curious about that myself.
Sayori and I were just walking to school when she mentioned this club to me. Since I was sorta looking for a club to join, I figured that I should check you guys out. At any rate, Sayori was really enthusiastic about the literature club, so Monica beams at Sayori when she hears this. Yes, Sayori has done a good job at advertising for the club. Excuse me?
I see. Well, I think this is a great place to start. After all, books can be very enticing.
Yeah,
it's it's super fun. I think the club is the only place where I've been feeling comfortable lately.
Sayori's face falls for a moment, but she quickly picks herself back up.
It's somewhere I can just sit and read while hanging out with friends. I think they summed up the club pretty well. After all, I started it to bring together like-minded people who love literature. I'm really happy with how it turned out so far. It's very cozy. But enough introductions. Why don't you come in and take a seat, Jay? Did you bring anything to read? As she asked that, I realized I'm not much of a reader, much less someone who loves literature. To be honest, I haven't thought this through very well. Would joining a club that focuses on reading really be the best thing for me? No. I don't really have any books on me at the moment. I just haven't seen any good titles recently. I lie through my teeth, hoping Monica didn't see through my facade. I obviously didn't read much, but if they believe that I do, hopefully, it'll help me relate to these girls. Well, we have plenty of books here. If you want to check out what we have, I'm sure you'll find something that matches your taste. Is that so?
Then I guess I'll head over there. Maybe something that might catch my eye. I start to sweat nervously as I walk awkwardly over the bookshelf. There looks to be a good variety of books everywhere, ranging from genre from horror and fantasy all the way down to non-fiction. Sheepishly, we turn towards the thick one. We turn towards Yuri. Of course, we're gonna turn towards the thick one. Hey, could you help me pick out a book that I'd like?
I'd be happy to. If the prospect isn't too off-putting, I know of a wonderful horror novel.
To be honest, horror never particularly appealed to me. Still, I want to make an effort here. I have an open mind. What book were you thinking of? Blushing, Yuri bends down and removes a thick book from the bookcase. It has a large piercing eye on the cover. It almost feels like it's staring into my soul. Is this the Illuminati, Yuri? What are you drinking, girl?
One of my personal favorites, Portrait of Markov. I know it might look intimidating, but sorry.
She shakes her head and goes to put the book back, but I stop her. Don't worry about it. I'd love to check it out. What's it about? A coy smile plays across her face as though she were pleasantly surprised by my enthusiasm.
Let's see. The protagonist is a young high school student who moves in with her sister, but shortly after, sinister things start happening. The two are captured by an ominous cult that practices nightmarish experiments on their prisoners. Throughout the story, she's forced to make choices no one her age should have to make. In the process, her ability to trust others is warped, and many of her relationships are broken as a result.
Pretty dark, but hey, I'd be lying if I said it didn't sound interesting. Well, it definitely sounds pretty engaging. I think I'll read this book then. Natsuki mumbles something, but she's just barely out of earshot.
Really? You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
I do. While this might not be what I usually pick, your description of the plot intrigued me. Although I have to ask, what makes this book your favorite book?
If I had to put it into words, I suppose I am a big believer in literature's ability to challenge the psyche.
Psyche? Wait a second, are we going back to the Somnium Files here? Alright. That's cool, I guess.
So to have an immersive tale question of ideals and foundations can be extremely exhilarating.
She smiles and twirls a long lavender strand of hair around her finger.
Words are immensely powerful. They can paint stunning portraits, evoke emotion, or even whisk oneself away to an entirely new dimension. As she continues to speak, she transforms from a timid girl I just met into a proud and confident expert.
I get the impression that she feels more at home with books rather than other people. That might be the point.
Isn't that exhilarating, Jay? We have such a vast vocabulary at our disposal. With such a powerful resource at our fingertips, we can do anything.
I clear my throat, hoping that I don't put her off with my evident inexperience. Yeah, when you put it that way, I can understand how powerful and the written word can be. I scratch the back of my head nervously. Fortunately, she finds that to be a satisfactory answer.
One must look at the words the author chose. We have so many synonyms. So what compelled the author to shape their story the way they did? The feeling I get when I finally finish a truly compelling novel, it leaves me totally breathtaking.
I wish I had something as coherent to respond with. We might as well be from different planets. I think I know what you mean. She closes her eyes, pulling her hands close to her chest. Then, as though remembering she's not alone, she suddenly blinks and immediately appears more bashful.
Oh goodness, I'm sorry. I must have gotten lost in my train of thought.
She fidgets with a thin clip in her hair, sliding it up and down. Hey, don't worry about it. It's nice to see you talk about something you obviously enjoy. What's to say otherwise? Who's to say otherwise? Yuri glances over to Natsuki, who simply raises her eyebrow in reply. Does Natsuki not like these kind of stories? She sighs and turns to look out of the window.
That's putting it lightly. We have our differences in what we enjoy, literature-wise.
She frowns slightly as though pained by Natsuki's apparent disapproval. Well, I think everyone's different tastes are what makes literature interesting, especially when talking about it with other people. I can't help but grin. I feel like that was actually pretty clever.
Yes, that's a good way of looking at it.
I reach over and take Portrait of Markov from her, tucking it under my arm. Well, I'll give this a bit of a read and see how far I can get tonight.
I appreciate you giving it a chance, even if it's not something you're used to. I'll be looking forward to hearing your opinion. I must warn you though, once you get past the first few chapters, you might have trouble putting it down. And perhaps tomorrow, if you wanted to, we could discuss it.
Really, Yuri? Really? You really just want to discuss this book? Or you want to get close to me? She looks quite nervous as she suggests that. Guess that's just how her personality is. Yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Thanks for the recommendation, Yuri. I do need to branch out and try new things. This will be a good place to start. I'm grateful that I get to read it on my own, at least for now. I honestly have no idea if I'll even like it. And if I were reading it and with her and why am I having difficulties reading these things again? Visual novels, man. And if I were reading it with her and decided I didn't, that might make things a little awkward. With the book in hand, I make my way to a desk. The others are all now preoccupied, so it seems like a convenient time to start the story. Okay, now. It's definitely an unusual book. Horror was never really my thing, but I have to admit, the main idea is intriguing and the main characters are written well. The more I read, the more I can see why it appeals to Yuri. All that talk about appreciating sophisticated language. While it's not exactly my kind of story, to their credit, the author does a good job building up the rather bleak situation. I've never been particularly imaginative, but even I can picture the scenes in my head. If I weren't so tired, I could have probably engaged with it more. Over time, I can't help but grow a little bored though. I guess I've read enough to be able to discuss it with Yuri tomorrow, so I decide to call it there. Looking up, I spot Sayori reading something. Might as well see what she's up to. I probably read this for long enough. Standing up with a stretch, I make my way over and take a seat next to her.
Hey, how's it?
Wait, this is Jay. Hey, how's it going, Sayori? What are you reading? As I sit down, I notice that she looks quite content.
Nothing much. Just reading some stuff from school project. What about you? You seem really into your book.
Oh well, oh yeah, it was a good read, at least as far as I can tell right now. I can't help but wish I sounded a little more enthusiastic.
That's great. So how are you liking the club? You're not bored, are you?
She looks a little worried, her cheerful persona faltering for a moment. Where did that question come from? It's a bit too early to tell how I really feel about the club. Of course not, Sayori, sure. I haven't been here for long, but I've enjoyed meeting everyone. They've opened my eyes to new stuff. I've never been huge on reading, but I'm confident the literature club could change that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're involved. You don't want to join a club that you have no interest in it, right?
I know what you mean. I think reading will grow on me in time. Actually, do you mind if I sit with you and read? She looks at me, clearly surprised. I don't think she was expecting me to sit next to her, but nonetheless, she seems happy. Her smile is infectious, lifting my own spirits too.
That would be great, Jay.
Alright. She's cheerful. We read for a while, which turns into talking fairly quickly. Our conversation being a continuation of our chat from the walk from school. It's nice to just sit and talk with my childhood friend. Who'd have guessed reconnecting would be so easy? I haven't felt this content for as long as I can remember. The good mood reflects on her as well, given that she seemed very uplifted and bubbly. I don't know what is it about her that makes me so at ease. Wow, we've been talking for a bit, haven't we? Man, I didn't even realize the time.
I guess we have been talking for a while.
I can see why you come to the literature club so much. There really is a welcome at ease vibe here. It must be nice. It must be a nice change of pace after how hectic the school day can be.
I was hoping you'd say that, Jay. It really is. I am grateful for the others as well. They really helped to make the club the way it is.
I can't help but notice, but Natsuki and Yuri seem to be very different though. Do they argue much? She looks a little downcast at my question.
Sometimes, yes, but thankfully it isn't often.
I can sense this isn't a topic she likes discussing. Well, that's only normal, I guess. Monica seems like a great president though. She must have been very proud of this club. Just then, Monica gets up from the desk she was sitting at and faces the classroom confidently. Speak of the devil.
Okay, everyone, I hope we're all having a good time so far. There's a good moment of silence during which everyone seems to be glancing at me. Do they want me to respond?
I'm honestly having a great time, thanks. Thanks for the warm welcome, everyone.
Well, it's great to hear that. And as it turns out, Natsuki baked some cupcakes for the club too. Yeah, I know. I was just about to announce it. So, let me get them. Let's go sit over there, Jay. It looks like there's room at those desks for all of us.
I dutifully followed Sayori over to where the rest of the girls have pulled a couple of desks together to form a table.
How about I make some tea as well?
Natsuki and Yuri walked over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabbed a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling a bit awkward, I opt to take a seat next to Sayori. If the conversation starts to die out, I can always rely on her to save me. Meanwhile, Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay, are you ready? Ta-da!
What? Wow. Okay. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Oh, look at that. They're so cute with all the whiskers and the ears and stuff. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and the little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one.
Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow.
It's delicious.
Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turned the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. If she made it all by herself, that's seriously impressive. It practically tasted professionally done to me. But then again, it's not like I have the most discerning taste palette. These cupcakes are amazing! Thank you, Natsuki!
Yeah, you better thank me, cause this took hard work to do.
Yeah, it really seemed like it. Do you make it by yourself, or did your parents help you? Did your parents help you?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Are you saying I couldn't have done it myself?
No. It's just that it seems professionally made, so I was wondering if an actual baker helped you.
I wish my dad was a baker, but just because I don't bake for money doesn't mean that I can't be good.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I just suck at cooking myself, so I'm wowed by good cooking. I guess I should count myself lucky that I got to try your cupcakes today, eh?
Uh-huh! It's not every day that I have the time to bake, so be thankful.
The expression of Natsuki's face practically says, "Bow down before me, peasant."
Are you expecting Jay to prostrate himself before you?
Looks like Monica had the same thought.
You can't blame Natsuki. You can't blame Natsuki.
Wait, how do you voice Sayori again?
You can't blame Natsuki for bragging a little though. I would too if I made these. Yeah, exactly!
Natsuki smiles gratefully at Sayori's save. Meanwhile, Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in your classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess?
Hey, don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri just trying to impress you. That's not...
Embarrassed, Yuri looked away.
I meant that, you know.
Don't worry about it, I believe you. Tea and reading might not be a common pastime for me, but I can at least appreciate it.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow then smiles at me. I'm happy that you look like you're enjoying yourself, Jay. As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Oh, that reminds me. I've actually been meaning to ask you something, Monica. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year?
Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica is really a great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet, but I guess it must be hard to start a new club since everyone's probably settled in their own activities already.
You could put it that way. It can be hard to get people invested in things that are brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile.
but it makes school events like cultural festival that much more important. Speaking of school events, I don't think I saw your club at the club fair at the beginning of the year. That's because I hadn't started it yet. Oh, I guess that explains why you don't have many members yet. Yeah, we missed that opportunity to draw in first years who hadn't found clubs yet. It's a lot harder to advertise on a person-by-person basis. And like you said, a lot of people already have other extracurriculars, by now. But even so, I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone?
Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it!
Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these three. Maybe that's why we're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with the level of enthusiasm about literature. By the way, I know that everyone here likes reading, but do you guys write as well? Actually, we haven't really done any writing together, funnily enough. Do you guys just read and discuss books then?
You could say that.
Sounds more like a normal book club than a literature club. To be honest, I was kind of expecting you all to do stuff like write poetry together. At the word poetry, Natsuki jolts back a bit. Eh? Do you not like poetry, Natsuki?
What? I don't really have an opinion on it, I guess.
Oh, really? With a sly smile, Monica gets up, rummages through her book bag, and returns with a loose notebook page in her hands. I happen to have here a poem called
Hey! Where'd you get that?
Natsuki springs up and snatches the paper out of Monica's grasp. I think that's Natsuki's. Don't worry, I didn't steal it from your bag or anything. You dropped it on the way out the other day. I was going to return it, but I couldn't help teasing you a bit more before I did that.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you kept your nosy nose out of my private work.
Duly noted. And sorry, I just couldn't help glancing over your poem when I picked it up. Your writing style is really cute, Natsuki.
Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are.
Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders.
I'm not cute! Hey, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
So you do write your own poems, Natsuki?
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I just think that's pretty neat. Why don't you share them with the club sometime?
Not if everyone just gonna call them cute.
Like Sayori said, there's nothing wrong with being cute,
You wouldn't get it. There's nothing worse than trying to get honest feedback from someone and just having them say it's cute.
Scorn drips from the word cute. There you go. I guess I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, no one does. It's super annoying,
Actually, I believe I understand how Natsuki feels. Natsuki looks surprised at Yuri's sudden interjection. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. And when that's all dismissed with a single remark, well, suffice to say, it can greatly discourage you from putting your work out there again. It sounds like you both and Natsuki have writing experiences in common, Yuri.
Maybe. Although I didn't mean to speak for Natsuki. Jeez, it's fine. I pretty much agree with what you said, so.
A brief moment of silence falls upon us as we all reflect on their conversation.
This gives me an idea, everyone.
We look all quizzically at Monica, who smiles knowingly back at us. If we have members who are looking for legitimate criticism of their poetry, how about we do that here? I'm sure we can all trust each other to be respectful, and I think it'll be fun. It'll be a fun activity for us. Hey, I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing my old poetry. I didn't write it to be read by the public. So, yeah, same here. That's fine. We can all just go home and write new poems to bring tomorrow. I was going to suggest that anyway, since I don't think the rest of us have poetry ready to share yet. Dot.
Yeah, that sounds
Awesome. Looks like Sayori is having fun in this.
I think learning about poetry would be really fun.
And now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Jay? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. The literature club has been very welcoming so far, at least after the initial introductions were made. And although I'll have to start writing poems, it seems like a fair price to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Oh, you're making yourself at home now, Jay. I had my doubts at first, but given how friendly and welcoming these girls are, I don't really see any reason why I shouldn't join the club. Yep, I'll be looking forward to becoming better friends with you all. Then that makes it official.
Welcome to the literature club.
Thank you, Monica.
Yes, I'm so happy you're joining us.
Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey!
And thanks for playing along.
She whispers in the last remark in my ear, so she was aware that I'd never agreed to join in the beginning. That sneaky girl. Although Sayori is the most enthusiastic, all of the girls' eyes are lit up in happiness.
I wouldn't have been super pissed if you just left after eating my cupcakes. I am very glad that you're staying as well.
Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Don't forget tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can hold discussions. Monica looked over at me once more. Jay, I look forward to seeing you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress Monica with my mediocre reading and writing skills? Something tells me no. Jeez. I can already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Well, it's not like Monica's going to be as harsh as the actual literature teacher though, right? Meanwhile, the others continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Sayori, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? Given that she's introduced me to all these amazing people, it's the least I could do for her.
Sure, let's head home.
With that, the two of us wave goodbye to the others and make our way home. On the way back, we discussed the events on that day, focusing particularly on each club member. As we do so, my mind wanders between them all. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. I'm excited to hang out with everyone from now on. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of them. Okay, so Jay, you're thinking about love interest, I guess? Yes, you will. You will claim your waifu, and your waifu will be Yuri. Yuri is my waifu. Yuri, the thick one, will be my waifu. Alright, I guess I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Okay. That looks so gosh darn cute. Is that even present on the what do you call that? On the original game? Alright. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Yeah, I remember these. We're gonna write poem every time we go to where we go home, and yeah. So let's see. Empty. Lust. Heartbeat. Okay. That's frigging balance. All right. Heaven sent. Uncanny. Let's go. Let's go with Yuri. I'm really unstable. Okay. Let's go. Starscape. Uncontrollable. Doki Doki. What? Okay. Vitality. Incongruent. Effulgent. I don't know what these words are, but Yuri seems to enjoy them. So vivacious. Vertigo. What else? Playground. Melancholy. Disoriented. Sugar. What? Disarray. And of course, infallible. There we go.